welcome back to Tifosi Time, the second highest rated soccer show about Italian soccer on the East Coast in New Jersey, hosted by three siblings. I'm Frank.
We moved up.
Rolls right off the tongue, right? I'm Frank. Say hello, fellas.
Hey, I'm Chris.
Hi, I'm Dan.
Is that in our Twitter bio, by the way? What Frankie just said?
That's right. We have a Twitter.
Just a heads up about the Twitter. The Twitter is still active, but I'm having much more success on Reddit. If you find any comments from Tifosi Time,
link that.
I got some upvotes. Like, people like what I say on there. It's crazy.
Since when are you on Reddit?
I don't know. I don't even know how to use it.
Frankie doesn't even know what Reddit is.
I really don't. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway. I'm still using the password we had with Bell Atlantic dial-up in 1994, so it's all good.
Chris, before you signed on, he literally signed in here, and his username was his password. I said, "Wait a second, that's your old password from 1990." He goes, "Whoops."
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, to the viewers, where my name was, it just was like a password for no reason. I don't know why. It's all good. Don't worry, I bring the same level of expertise to soccer talk, so you're in for a fun one, people.
We got a lot to talk about today, so let's go.
Yes, and please talk in the chat because I would like to talk to somebody who actually knows a little bit something about soccer.
So who's in the chat? Do we have anyone?
So we just got our first comment. It says, Reddit life, the Football Manager subreddit is straight fire, which is totally true. Follow the Football Manager Reddit. It's hilarious. That was from Trues.
It is a good
Trues.
Reddit.
Yeah, I barely have time. I haven't played the game in forever, let alone the Reddit. So what makes this?
New one comes out tomorrow. I'm buying it.
Oh. You won't see Chris for another month and a half.
Yeah.
It's a good game, though. It is addictive.
Oh, one last thing. I believe we're up to 20 subscribers.
Are we?
We hit the big 2-0. So
how many of them are not related to us?
I don't know that.
I don't know.
Do you think it's over 2?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's 10%. So think that's 10%. So answer wisely.
Let's give the people what they want. Let's talk about some soccer.
Let's do it. Chris, you monitor that chat, and if someone says something,
I mean, me and my friend over here.
20 minutes on that comment. Now's the time to comment, people.
All right. So, which game you guys want to start with?
Let's start with the Juventus game.
Of course, like always.
Like always.
There. No bias there.
I pretty much cashed it in after the Juventus game, so.
All right. Why don't one of you two kick it off?
We'll give it to Frank.
Chris, it's all you.
No, Frank, go ahead.
So I saw some progress overall. I think having to lit back, and Demerol, of course, got hurt, which is awesome. But the team itself played, I think played decent. I mean, this was back to not to the same level, but if you guys remember the Sampdoria game, the first one that you guys were like, I wouldn't change a damn thing. Everything was perfect, and I was like, slow your roll because it was a nice, relaxed game. I don't think it was the same level of that, but they're starting. To me, it seemed like as a group they started to gel a little bit more in this game, which is we said would happen, and now they're about what is it 10, 12 total games in, and getting some people back. So I think that was a good sign for sure. And I think Morata and Ronaldo up top. It's a good blend of speed and finishing and passing, and they were dangerous. Those are my initial thoughts. You guys jump in there anytime you want.
So just to jump in with, you're saying now is the time where you're going to see it. Pirlo even said that in the pregame conference, was that now is when we're going to start. Now is the time where we really got to show who we are and start, progressing and showing the progression. And you saw that in the first half. At first half especially, for me, that 45 minutes, there wasn't one thing to complain about in that entire 45 minutes. I mean, even Bernardeschi. And you know what's funny? Yeah. I was watching the game with Chris, and we've been ragging on Bernardeschi, and for some reason, every time Bernardeschi touched the ball, Chris was like, "I'm so happy for him. I want him to do well." But Chris, You just ragged on him for like 2 weeks in a row. Like,
no, you don't understand. I had the biggest smile on my face when he was doing well. He scored that goal on the offsides. I was so pissed because he's not playing bad. You can't really
Well, listen, I will give Pirlo credit, right? So Bernardeschi played pretty decent on the national team. And I think that was smart by Pirlo's by taking that and go, you know what, let me put him on the field now. Let me not let him sit around for 2 weeks. Let him build on that. And I think that was actually really smart because if you want to recover somebody to at least to the point where they're going to contribute, you got to get a little bit of a role and consistency playing. So that was pretty smart. And I think
definitely a boost in confidence for sure. Like I think he played well. It was nice seeing him out there.
So what do you think it is? Do you think it was that the opponents weren't up to it, up to the day, or do you think Bernardeschi's finally getting to the point of like, hey, look, I'm gonna have to play with a little bit more fire and earn my place back, or I'm pretty much gonna be done, or I'm gonna be playing on. Do you think it's him upping his game, or you think it was the 2 or 3 games that he played against the opponents?
I think he's up in his game. The announcers even said it. They said it looks like he lost weight. He was moving quicker, right? Like,
yeah,
you definitely saw something different.
I think it's confidence. We mentioned this before. We said anything you do in life, if you're doing it with confidence, you do it better. So he's confident coming off of the games in international games. When's the last time you remember Bernardeschi shooting the ball 4 times on net?
Dude,
ever in a game? Like I've never seen. He had 4 shots on net.
He hasn't scored since 2018 or something, right?
Yeah. So
for
me, it was all confidence.
So I believe I was the one saying he's not a total rubbish player about 3 weeks ago, and just saying that.
No one said that though. We said that.
You guys called him Dookie. You called him Dookie pretty much.
Yeah, Chris said that. For me, the takeaway, I guess I'll continue. Demiral and Delit back there. Delit came back finally.
Awesome. He's great.
Them 2 in the back is what we've been begging for, and they didn't disappoint.
I feel like Delit solidified that really quick because I think he came in and was just calmer and just played the ball, and I think it gave Demiral more peace of mind too. Now, of course, just when they start playing, he gets freaking hurt. It's like we can't get, I would like to get 10 games of those guys playing together.
That's a knock on Demiral. Like he's not consistent with his health. Like he's always in and out of lineup, and that's something that's you have to be reliable and be on the field.
Yeah. Well, he also plays physical all 90 minutes, right? So he's going to dish it out and get knocks too.
He's so strong, man. He just beats people up. I love him. Demiral, he's been awesome in the area. The assist on the corner kick, right? Like it sucks.
He's good in the air.
So I haven't seen Juventus that strong in the air on corner kicks, on free kicks in a long time. Delit, Demiral, Ronaldo, Morata. All those guys are a crazy presence, and Quadrado, Quadrado for me was the man of the match. Ronaldo had the 2.
Shout out really quickly, Captain Quadrado.
Captain Quadrado, yes.
Captain Quadrado.
So for me, he was the man of the match. They play the ball through him a lot. He's so solid back there. But the corner kicks that he was taking, the crosses that he puts in all game long, looking for Demiral every single time, and he's going up there strong. He got the assist off Ronaldo's second goal. They have legitimate forces on the inside on all those set pieces now, and it's hard to cover.
One thing we need to see is it's one thing to go up on an offensive corner, but one of the things Juventus has not been good. I don't feel like is defending set pieces and corners as good as they used to be in terms of marking and winning headers, and hopefully that translates, right? Like it used to be a time where it was really hard to score in Juventus on a corner or a set piece, and now
I don't think any team is nowadays. I think they all suck at covering corners.
Well, that's true. You can't grab as much, but those 2 guys, right? Like it's great that you can go up and try to attack and score a goal, but how about you win 99% of the balls in defense too? So. Yeah. Keeping it with just the good and the bad. And again, we were playing Cagliari, which is not a horrible team, but I don't feel like they were.
But they didn't even have Nandez, their best, one of their best players.
Exactly.
They didn't have a shot on net. Buffon was pretty much sleeping back there. He didn't have much to do. But that's a testament to the defense too. Like their central defense was really, really strong. I mean, in the first half, Juventus not only had possession, but the possession was in the final third, like the entire time too. Like they just had it deep down the field. There was nothing that their opponents could do. I like the link up play between Morata, Ronaldo, Kulusevski. Those guys all play with speed. They all play with flash. They all have character.
When they do their one touches, it's beautiful to watch, man.
You saw Ronaldo actually pass the ball a few times, and even the players like Kulusevski's like, "What the hell happened? He passed it to me." Like, it was a surprise to the other players too. And I think that's, he's seeing the connection that everyone's having there, and he's like, "Oh, I can, if they're going to play like this, I'll pass it to them."
Well, that's what you should get out of it.
Yeah.
We got a comment. What's the comment say?
People are digging your scruff, Dan.
Oh yeah, that's my vacation scruff. I have no work, so I'm not shaving.
Nice. I can't even grow a scruff. I don't even know how you did that.
It's marker.
And then Daddy said, best game from Bernadeschi and Arthur.
Yes, Arthur. Yeah,
agreed.
Too bad Demiral got hurt, but he played well with the lit.
And I think also we have to give credit to Rabiot, who I know we've been giving credit for a while now. But I think the fact that he took his spot. Yeah. No. Let's preface. We love him the way he's played the last 10 games of last year into now, right? Like, I think a 15-pound skinnier Rabiot who's running and being more box to box. But, I mean, the first 30 games he played on Juventus, I was literally like, he was worthless.
I agree, but he had not played for like over a year, man.
Okay. Clearly there was a big, clearly there's a huge difference, right? And I think that's helping the rest of the team. Like, Arthur played awesome, like Bernadeschi, but it just gives you one of those pillars in the midfield that definitely, I think is making a difference right now. So yeah, I mean, I think overall it was a good game from everybody.
So the funny thing is with Juventus, we're talking all this good stuff. You didn't even mention Ronaldo. I mean, that finish, that first goal was beautiful. And even the second goal, the adjustment on the corner kick, that quickly to
yeah, that was a nice adjustment. A lot of people don't make that adjustment.
It's down to 2 MVPs so far to start this season. Ronaldo.
Oh, come on, we're at 10
I'm
games.
telling you, right now it's those two, Ibra and Ronaldo. You take them off the team.
So you pick 2 of the biggest name stars in Serie A. Ooh,
it doesn't matter. Take them away. What's Juventus? Take Ibra away from Milan.
Milan is less without Ibra than Juventus is without Ronaldo.
Okay. Ibra's the MVP, though. We're not talking about that right now.
But to your point, Ronaldo, it's true. He scores so often that you almost take it for granted. You're like, Ronaldo scored a couple. Who cares? That wasn't even like a talking point, right? So, it's true. You can easily take it for granted, but I still think in terms of Milan without Ibra, is pretty much an 8th place, 9th place team.
So we're going to see it the next 2 weeks. He's hurt, so we'll see it.
And that's the issue with, out. It says out 10 days for Demiral because it's such a condensed season.
It's like 4 games.
That used to be a Sunday game and a Sunday game. Now it's a month, 4 games that you're missing. So Ibra, and Ibra's is a hamstring injury, which those linger forever. So he's going to be out, I think, at least 3 weeks. So that's 7 games that he's going to be missing. Just to,
it doesn't help that.
But it's also different, right? Like, when you're trying to weather an injury that stinks, but when your team, let's say, that didn't have Ibra at all, let's say he wasn't on the team, right? They would have not got off to a good start. It's one thing when you're off when your confidence that, and you're trying to fill in for a start, it's missing. But if you just literally took Ibra off their team, do you think they'd be in the position they are right now? Like, no.
And nobody expects him to play 38 games a season. No. He's going to be out. Some things that I wasn't as ecstatic about the second half. I think they had the 2-goal lead, so they had that cushion there. But I thought Pirlo again takes way too long for his subs. I thought Arthur was gassed. He could have made subs quicker. He seems to be, I'm going to wait for the 70th minute and then I'm going to put people in. It's like, come on, can you just...
So anyone else questioning why Arthur would be tired in the 70th minute in a game that wasn't all that tough? I mean, to me that doesn't seem like, I still feel like physically he's got a lot of preparation to do that, right? I mean, that's fine. He's still got to get legs under him, but you shouldn't be tired in a game like that when your team's controlling 60% of the possession in the upper third. You shouldn't be that tired.
Yeah. I do want to ask you guys one question because I don't want to talk about Juventus all game. If you had the whole podcast, but if you had to start a team with one player from Juventus, you had to start a team with, who are you picking?
one player from Juventus, like
Yeah,
considering age, like
to start a franchise with. Who you?
That's
Delay.
tough.
It's the easiest answer.
No,
Dybala.
I would probably go
Dybala.
Dybala or Koleski.
Dybala is the answer. He is the answer.
Yeah.
He's the most talent. He's going into his prime. He is a superstar.
Koleski has potential though, and he's younger.
But the point I'm trying to make is Juventus, they need Dybala. Like he needs for them to do anything. They need him at the top of his game, and it's really sad to see how he's playing right now.
Well, here's the thing. Talk about confidence being so important for these players. Dybala is someone that, I think they're really on the pinnacle of losing him, just like where he's going to say, I'm going to go play somewhere else. And we talked about this early in the year. Like that's the problem of having, Ronaldo, because you might win a year or two, but if you lose Dybala and then you're trying to replace him in a year or two to find another guy, good luck with that, right?
So really quickly, some comments here. Daddy said that let's not forget Danilo. He's been awesome, which is true.
Yeah, of course.
Danilo's been good. Danilo's been good. There was somebody that we used to make fun of last year, right? In terms of what are you like? Why did we Cancelo and money plus Danilo?
I hated seeing him on the field. He was awful.
Yeah.
So what do you attribute that to? Is that Pirlo and the coaching? Is he just in better shape, better form? Like, is he just like doesn't feel the pressure of the Juventus uniform this year? Like, what is it? Why is he playing so much?
I think it was also his first year last year too with the new team. Like you got to give people some time to get comfortable.
Country, like
but when you're a Brazilian international, right? I mean, I get it. You're playing in a different league, but maybe that was it because
it's more than you think.
And give Pirlo some credit too. Like Pirlo's done well with him.
I don't know how much credit.
We also got another comment, which makes me think someone's feeding him this stuff because he doesn't really know much about soccer. But our friend True says, "Do you feel Arthur is more effective when Bonucci is not there? Get to play distributing more."
Everyone is more effective when Bonucci is not there.
100%. We've been on record saying that Bonucci needs to leave, but that's
it's true though. It's true. Whether Trues came up with that question or not himself,
I can assure you he did not.
But you don't have 10 less long balls that Bonucci sends out of bounds or to the defender to win the head ball, right? So they played more into the midfield. Yeah. I think it's a good point.
I don't know. I think we've talked about Juventus and the game enough, and there's not really much more to say about it, right?
I don't know. I think we were going to spend 90 minutes on the 90-minute game.
No. There's a lot to talk about this week. We're going to move on.
All right, let's do it.
My screen froze, so I don't know what game he's popping up.
He still has the Juventus game on.
Yeah, sure.
Nicely produced.
Yeah, let's talk about Napoli and Milan, I guess, next. This was the game of the week, technically, right? The 2:45 game on Sunday.
Time out 1 second. Truce goes, I read the Juve subreddit. That's where he's getting his info.
He does. I didn't want to call him out on that, but I saw that same exact thing.
Tell the truth. Type in our answer and tell him to come see it live. That's awesome.
So 3-1 Milan over Napoli. This game, I don't remember. I think I got this game incorrect. I picked Napoli to win this game, even without Osimhen. I think Frank got it right? I can't remember, but
I don't think I got the score right. I don't know. Dom, let's ask our producer. Do we know who got what right?
So so Frank 2-1 Milan, and I know I definitely got it wrong. So anyway, let's go. Yeah,
Dan said 3-1 just for Napoli. So let's start picking on him.
Go ahead.
How do you feel about that prediction?
Clearly, they needed Osimhen.
Well, let's say. So, what do you think went wrong besides not having Osimhen? Why do you think Napoli showed up so much worse than you thought?
I think that Napoli had to adjust to having those four little people up front. They're used to having that target man.
No, they play differently. They play differently when he's not.
Yeah, it was completely different. Bakayoko had a bad game. He got
kicked out, but that I don't know. That first foul was pretty harsh.
It
could have been a red straight.
Yes, I know. And
Yeah.
at the same time, like he was flirting with disaster all game. Like he got that yellow card early, and then he's kept fouling. Even the announcer said, he's got to be careful. And then he does the slide tackle, and he gets thrown out early in the game too. It was like 60-something minutes in.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I don't like to say I told you so, but I will say I told you. So you guys were saying Baca, I don't think he's gonna lose his spot anymore.
He's not.
He's awesome. Right.
He's not losing his spot.
Okay. But no, I'm not going to that losing his spot. But I'm saying, I said, can we give a guy more than 4 or 5 games in a row before can we make him play a whole season or two? And you're like, no, he's great. So everyone can have a bad day. I'm just kind of busting your chops. But I just think, this is the problem with teams like this.
Whatever. So I blame more Gattuso for not reading the game and taking him out earlier.
Are you surprised? Conte light.
A couple things for Milan.
I'm just making fun of everyone today. I must be punchy. It was a long day at work.
Ibrahimovic, obviously, you can't say anything negative about the guy. The 2 goals, the first goal was really, really nice. The cross from was it Theo Hernandez? From about the 10-yard box, he cuts in front of Koulibaly and far post header, perfect. Nothing Merritt can do about it. And then Rebic loops one over to him for the second goal. He's just so good. It's not just the goal scoring; it's the hold-up play.
Who are you talking about?
Ibra. Did you not watch the game? He scored 2 goals.
Never heard of him. I was doing a joke. You messed it up. I was going to say never heard of him.
Damn. For me, he's my MVP. He's going to be out for a while. Let's see how Milan, plays without him. I think they're going to struggle. A couple things. I know I bash on Romagnoli every week. I'm going to bash on him again. Mertens' goal was because of him. He also got burned down the sideline in the early part of the game by Lozano. And I mean burned. Like, he just flew right by him. On a corner kick, he got bullied off the ball. He got thrown off the ball by Koulibaly, which, again, he's huge. But I don't see anything good Romagnoli does.
Romagnoli, let's face it, Romagnoli was one of those young guys that came up, and everyone's like, oh, he's got so much potential. And he took, the last 2-3 years, he's taken a step back. So
I don't see any progression by him. Donnarumma came up clutch with some saves. Go ahead. Those are comments?
So really quickly, Daddy again says Gattuso made a mistake. He should have taken out a forward and put in midfielder because they were controlling the game. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, but not even necessarily. Like, Napoli control. Like, they had the possession, they had more shots. Like, they didn't play terribly. Even after we went down a man, they still had opportunities. And Donnarumma came up pretty clutch with some saves. So I don't even think that it was a case of that.
So that right there sums up why people like Abramovich are stars, right?
Daddy's taking shots at Dom, the producer.
Yeah, this is my favorite episode ever.
He goes, Dom, what do you know? Gattuso lost the game because Dom's writing in the chat.
No, but I think I think that makes
a bad game.
But Gattuso has bad games. That's the thing. Let's not make him out to be some kind of technical wizard. He's, he gets a team to play together and play hard, but that's what he does. But, that's the funny thing, the difference between having an Ibra, right? Like, Napoli played a decent game. They scored 1 goal. You have a guy like Ibra, he might get 2 chances and score 2, right? And that's the difference. That's why those guys certain people are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, for
Can
Napoli,
we make fun of the producer again now?
Sure, all day. I think Napoli needs a left back. I've never been a fan of Mario Rui, even though he had the assist on the goal. I think he had the assist on the goal. I don't like the way he plays. I don't think he's good enough to be, if you want to make Champions League, I don't think he's good enough left back for you. But Insigne had a disappointing game. He disappears. Lozano disappeared. He didn't do much. It was, I don't know. They had a lot of possession. Donnarumma came up with huge saves. That red card hurt him a little bit. It could have went either way that game. And if Osimhen was there, I think we would have maybe had a different story.
Listen, this is clear cut. Like, where this is going to be a good if Juventus. Well, I'll say 2 things. If Juventus plays the way they've played, this is going to be a tight race all the way to the end with 4 or 5 teams battling. Right? If Juventus hits stride, it's going to be the same old story. It's going to be Juventus winning by 9-10 points. And the other people, because look what happens, they're going to alternate. They're going to beat each other up. Milan, Inter, and that's the thing. You need a team that it's not okay to, you got to put this string where you can actually keep up with Juventus. And Juventus hasn't played well. And I'm still have more confidence in them putting together 15 games where they get a lot of results than any one of these other teams.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, if anyone's going to pull away with it, it's going to be Juventus. But I don't think anyone's pulling away with it.
I agree with that too.
And that's my point.
It's going to happen. I think it's going to be kind of
I don't
know. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to say about this?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay. Kessié did lose a tooth. He got elbowed pretty hard.
That's what happened, because they were saying he was like dizzy on the field or something.
Well, no, he lost a tooth like mid game. He got elbowed and smacked in the face by, I think, Politano, and he was bleeding a lot. But then towards the end of the game, it was a little scary. He just got super dizzy and just fell to the ground.
Yeah.
And they had to come and the medic team had to.
Well, he might have had a little concussion from the elbow.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, he got hit pretty hard. He lost a tooth and he was bleeding a lot, so it could have been that.
Yeah.
But it was a little scary just to see him. He went over to the ref and he just went down to the floor.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's all right.
Rub some dirt in it and get on.
Yes. Sure. Oh, and Hauge from Norway, choose it like that, Norwegian kid.
Nice goal.
That was a nice finish. That was a classy finish. And from everything you see from that, what Milan fans say, that they love this kid. They think he's got a lot of potential. So we'll see. Maybe he steps in and gets more playing time now that Ibra's out.
I think he has to. What else are they going to put in? Layout's hurt too, right?
Well, I mean, I think you could always put like Rebic up top, or they can change it around a little bit.
Play this kid, see what he's got.
Play the youngsters.
All right, let's go to the next one. What's the next game we got?
Yeah.
Sure, let's go Inter Torino.
Yeah, boo.
So really quickly in this game, like, I didn't watch it because I was watching Sassuolo, but I saw they were down 2-0, and I was like, what is happening? I was so happy.
So I jinxed this because I was watching the up to the point where they were 2-0, and I'm like laughing my ass off, so entertained. I'm like, this is awesome. And I had to go jump in the shower real quick and come back, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so here's the deal. Like, I'll rag on Inter because the first half they played exactly like all the games I love to make fun of Inter for. But then here's what they're, maybe by accident, maybe by purpose, right? They're kind of stringing together these games now out of 10. There's probably been 4, if I remember, where they were losing and then stole points, like the straight up win in the game. And that could get dangerous in a big way for opponents if you start to believe like we're never out of it. And, Fiorentina game they did that against. They did that in this game. I think there was a couple other games where
Yeah, they definitely don't. They don't put 90 minutes together.
No, so but you remember Juventus used to be a team that would close like that. Like they would come in and like just like the last 20 minutes would be like a fury. And if they can really buy into that and then play more consistent game, then they can grow into something better as the year goes on. That's the only compliment I'll give them.
Like I said, I only saw highlights. I saw Zaza's goal was pretty nice. He came in because Belotti was hurt in warm-ups, right? It was a nice goal.
So the pass that he got, I forget the guy's name.
Miete.
Yeah, it was a nice pass for Zaza's first goal.
That was a beautiful
back heel
interchange, like 4 or 5 passes, but then his back heel was insane. And Zaza played well. The first time I've seen Zaza play in a while, he could have had actually like 3 or 4 goals. He had tons of shots. He put one away. I was going to say that for the way Zaza was moving, it reminded me of the time where he had a good run of form with like Sassuolo, like because there was a time where he played 20, 25 games in a decent form and scored his 8 to 10 goals, and he's capable of doing that, right? But usually you can tell with him because he's moving a little bit faster, he's fluid, he makes quicker decisions on the ball, and I saw a little bit of that from this game, so that'll be interesting to see if that can carry over. Yeah, I mean, Torino's issue, which is funny because you remember them from 2 years ago, they let up no goals. Saragu had tons of shutouts. They can't stop anyone. Their defense puts them in holes all the time. They give the ball away in their own 18. Like, they're just awful with playing the ball out from the back. So they gave Inter such a short field a few times, and they were just like, okay, we're scoring really quickly. Ashley Young had an awful game. He karate kicked one of the Atalanta players, Singo, I think his name is. He in the box. That was for the penalty shot.
Was that one of his highlights or negative? You're saying?
For
his
Ashley
karate
Young,
kick, pretty cool.
He was very flexible on the play, but it was just awful play. Torino, like I said, Torino helped Inter out a lot in that game just because they were so awful defensively, and it's like you got to help Saragu out a little bit. You can't save everything. Like, can you clear the ball and not play in front and just give them the ball from 20 yards out?
As an aside, I feel like playing out of the back in most games have been worse than I ever remember this season. Like for a lot of teams, where it's like they play themselves into a corner, and then their only option is either a crappy clear giveaway, or just like they just straight up turn it over. It's just been a lot.
Listen, that's how everyone plays now. When's the last time you've seen a goalkeeper on a goal kick the ball past half field? It's never like that anymore.
But they used to be more confident at it, right? Like if you think about it, back in the day, Juventus had defenders like Tudor. Like, we don't have anyone like that now. Like, De Ligt can play the ball, but it's like, if you're going to play out of the back, these teams, they should have guys that aren't completely brain dead when they get the ball. Like,
no,
they don't pass. They don't pass to the right guy. They don't do it with the right speed and weight of the pass.
It's just done so much more, so it's easily defined.
Maybe that's true. Maybe they're just doing it more consistent.
Yeah.
Inter, you were saying, Frank, that first half, it wasn't just the first half. It was 60 minutes of complete garbage of soccer. It was awful. They were so bad. And then they just decide to turn it on. Alexis Sanchez, they have a flurry in the box. Sanchez puts one in. They have momentum. Lukaku puts one in 3 minutes later. They get a penalty shot because Nkulu just takes – I forgot who he took out. He took out somebody awful. It was just a terrible play in the box for a penalty shot. And then they just cap it off with Lautaro on the last minute of the game.
Yeah.
But it was 60 minutes of garbage, and they're like, fine, let's start playing. And then they end up winning comfortably.
So when you're up 2-0 and you've controlled the game for 60 minutes, or not control the game, but you're in a comfortable spot and you give it up, is that, I blame more the team that gives it up than the team that makes the comeback. Like, the comeback's great.
That's what I said. Torino did not help themselves at all in this situation. They gave that game away. They were just like, here, have the ball. You can shoot from 5 yards out. It's no big deal.
Which is ridiculous because it's not like they're an overly young team. They're not that young.
No, but they're bad. They're a bad team. They're not.
Yeah, but that's the stuff that gets guys fired. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's like you're winning 2-0 and you lose all 3 points. Like,
yeah, no, Gianpaolo's
that's bad.
So I don't see him lasting much longer.
Really quickly, I just noticed what you wrote on the bottom of that little card right there.
Yeah, I didn't feel like thinking of a stat.
Wait, what?
It says Inter, more like shitter. Am I right?
Why did we not lead with that? That's the best thing
I thought one of you guys would pick up on that.
Well, the producer makes me squint. He puts everything so small in that bottom corner I can't even see. He doesn't realize I'm 83 years old.
Oh, and nothing's better. Just a side note, family-wise, seeing Uncle Attilio write stuff, Inter, what terrible performance on Facebook, and then seeing Daddy comment on it with all these Inter fans, it just puts a smile on my face.
Why are they not watching our show is my question.
I don't know.
It's only 5:30 in the morning in Italy right now.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to, I think we have one more card that I made. Like I said, these cards take a long time, so I don't do every game. But I figure we kind of skipped over Rome last week. I made a card, but we didn't really go over it. So I wanted to talk about them this week. 3-0 win against Parma. They are on a roll. Chris says Sassuolo's the most entertaining team to watch. Well, Chris has not watched Rome at all this season. They are really entertaining. Spinazzola alone is so entertaining to watch. He's only north and south at 100 miles per hour. Very hard to guard. Just so effective.
Can you guys understand why I literally bitched about Juventus getting ringed for?
Yes, I think say every week, Frank.
36 months.
He had an assist. He hit the crossbar. He was just so active. And then Mkhitaryan, this is a guy who was a reject where he was. Nobody wanted him. And the goals he's scoring are ridiculous.
Okay, so prediction with this guy, right? He's in total form right now. Every ball he touches becomes an upper 90 fire.
He has five goals, 4 assists, I think. How do you think he scores over 10 goals this season?
I think he ends with 12.
Okay. I mean, I would say 10's a low number. So I would say yes, he's over that.
Yeah, so I think he's having, I guess, short end of it. I think he's enjoying his best spell of the season, and I think in 8 games no one will be talking about him.
Wow.
No, he's not a bad player.
He's not a bad player, but he's not a champion.
So, well, maybe he will be this year.
Maybe.
I think I don't like Rome that much because I don't like Veretout. Why do they like him so much?
He's a good player.
I'm not a huge Veretout fan either.
He's a solid player.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
He's the same as Mike Kondrack or whatever his name is.
What'd you call me? Mandragora?
Yeah.
Mandragora, who played, by the way, this week.
Yeah, he came back.
5 months after an ACL surgery. I've had 2 surgeries. 5 years it's been going on. I still can't walk. This guy comes back playing 5 months after. What the hell's going on?
When did I miss the second surgery?
I had 2 surgeries. So back to Rome. Mkhitaryan, someone people didn't really want. Pedro they signed for free. They had a lot of moves. People questioned getting rid of Kluivert, getting rid of Under. They got rid of all those, the younger guys who weren't really working out. They signed these older guys, and it's paying off for them. They're really fun to watch. You guys really should give them a chance. They didn't have Dzeko. He finally passed the COVID test, I think, yesterday, so he should be back. But Mayoral scored.
He's a lone guy, right?
I'm not sure. I think there might be an option to buy over there. But, again, with no Zaniolo, only losses from a forfeit.
When's Zaniolo coming back? Do we know?
They'll probably rush him back and he'll tear something else.
I thought they were hoping Europe's, right?
So he's been.
So we think in June.
He's been progressing well, and they'll probably rush him back because he wants to play.
Just asked, when's Parolo going to be a guest on the show? We got to get Daddy on the show.
We do got to get Daddy on the show.
We can work that out. Yeah, he can.
We'll just have the producer go to his house, set him up.
Anyway, not much to say on Parma. They're not very good this year, but 3-0 win for Rome. I just want to talk about it because we haven't talked much about them this year. Let's go on, Dom. Throw up the screen of all the other results, and we can run through them. Come on, producer boy today. Oh, Lazio Crotone, the game on Saturday morning. This game, I actually made a Reddit post about this. It got some hits. This game.
I love it. He's like our PR guy. I love it.
This game should not have been played, and it was only played because Lazio has these midweek games, and they want to cram every game into the season as much as possible. The ball was not rolling on the field. It should have never. There was so much. It was a monsoon. The ball could not play.
They are not going to cancel.
That would have been considered our best field as kids.
Yeah, they're not going to cancel any game unless there's a natural disaster.
Listen, I know. I'm just saying, they could have. I don't know what the forecast was for the rest of the day. They could have postponed it for a few hours or something like that.
I'm pretty sure as a kid we went to play a game where the field was as high as our knee. Pretty sure the grass.
Yeah, I got Lyme disease once, I think, but. They could have postponed it if the weather got better in the afternoon. It's not like they have fans there. What's the big deal if you played it?
True.
It was the ball was not rolling. It was awful.
No, I think that's a good point. I think with all this, with the crazy schedule as it is jam packed, and then with COVID, and then these tournaments, it's it's ridiculous because it's almost like we don't care if the game quality goes down. If you can get the game in, just get it in and move on to the next one.
Go ahead, Chris.
It was really hard to judge this game at all because the ball literally would just stop.
Oh, I don't think it was hard to judge. Lazio played, considering the conditions, and in those conditions, the crappier team usually has an advantage because it's more like an equal playing field. Lazio dominated that game. They were
easy calling Crotone crappy, okay? Easy.
The only thing, Immobile's goal was really nice. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
Yes, I saw it. Parolo, beautiful cross. It was nice. He should have had another goal. He missed an open net. He finally came back after 15 positive COVID tests. They've been in shambles, Lazio, with the COVID testing and everything. So
are they trying to pass it back and forth to each other over and over again?
I don't know, but their whole scenario in general has just been really weird, and especially him with the 15.
Are they reusing nasal swabs?
Maybe. But that Lazio deserved to win. It was a solid performance from them. I'm just saying someone could have seriously got hurt on that field. It was awful. Like literally, like people like hydroplaning on it. Like that's how much water was there. It was bad. Spezia Atalanta. This was an upset.
This is a problem now. I'm going into panic mode for Atalanta because, just like I was saying, how the Inter and the Milan confidence, right, with Ibra and the Inter confidence on the comebacks, start stringing them together. Atalanta was the ultimate feel-good story. Put them on the field. Anyone you put in, like magic in their feet, they'll score goals. Doesn't matter. And now all of a sudden, they've come down to earth big time. Like they really and Gasparini, when they start doubting themselves, it can roll downhill real quick. And I don't know if that's happening yet, but this is disappointing.
I don't think anyone's doubting anyone. Gasparini secretly signed a 1-year contract extension at the end of last year. There's full confidence there. He's not going anywhere.
1 year, that's full confidence? 1 year?
Yeah.
Because you can see him managing for other games during the week. He takes
that's what I'm saying.
Almost left at halftime.
Yeah.
How is this a winning philosophy? That's what I'm saying.
I think their goal is to get out of that group stage. There's so much more money in that second round, and they need to do that.
Fair. So you're telling me, okay, so the bar is just getting out of the group stage?
I mean, the first goal is to get out of that group stage.
Right now it's a short-term goal. You have short-term goals and long-term goals.
Okay,
getting out of the group is a short-term goal.
But they also have to manage getting back into the Champions League next year. Otherwise, the cycle comes to a crashing halt, right? You make the Champions League twice, you don't make that money anymore. So I just think Spezia, maybe they looked at it and said, oh, we can win without that. Well, no, you can't, right? Like, you got to go get points. And the point is, honestly, whoever he played should be able to play better and win anyway. But last year they were, and this year they're not.
They could have won the game.
Well, they could have, and if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. But, it didn't happen.
This game, listen, you give Spezia credit. Italiano, their coach, he has them so organized, and they play as a team, and everyone knows their roles, and they do a really good job. Like Ehrlich in the back played really good, the center back. Ricci is one of my favorite players. I said it week one. If I had a choice between Locatelli for whatever, 40 million, and Ricci for 5 million, I'm taking Ricci because he can do exactly what that guy does. They have good players. Providel made some really good saves. Like Atalanta could have scored. Like made really nice saves. Each team hit a post. It was a 0-0 game, but it was entertaining. It wasn't awful. Spezia deserves credit.
I'm just saying it's I'm not this is a few games now where Atalanta is either lost or tied, and last year they were on a roll. So I don't know. I hope they get back to it. Right now, Sassuolo is the new Atalanta for this year.
I think they'll get out of it. I think Golini came back. Positive note.
That's good.
Golini did come back.
Even though the backup played fine for them so far.
I like Sportiello. He's a good goalie. This is another one. Fiorentina versus Benevento. 1-0 Benevento. Fiorentina. Prandelli's first game as coach. Ribery got hurt again. He gets hurt more than Ibra. 37 years old. He's never healthy.
Benevento. Pipo.
Benevento's nice goal.
It was an excellent finish, man.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
But there was, each team had chances, but Fiorentina,
what is Fiorentina's problem? I think Prandelli will probably get them playing better. But it's like they are a curse franchise. They just talk about playing underneath your capability all the time, finding ways to play crappy. I feel like they do it.
Yeah, I think Baraghi had a really bad game. He's the one who gave away the ball to set up the goal.
What about our boy? Did our boy play?
Amrabat there wasn't many highlights in this game. It was, it wasn't the most exciting, but he played midfield, and he had a nice ball over the top to set up a shot, I believe, for Lapadula, and he blasted it over the net. Not Lapadula, for I think it was Ribery. It was somebody, but they missed. But he played okay. Fiorentina, though, they need to.
I don't like them.
They need to step it up. They're in danger.
Weren't you on the Fiorentina bandwagon before the season started? Like on our
I thought they were going to be really, really good, but I also said that they needed to change a coach. So hopefully this is, it's the first game with a new coach. You got to give him a little bit of break. Chris's team, Sassuolo 2-0 over Hellas Verona. That's a miss. That is a misleading score. Did you watch this game?
Yeah. There was chances.
Four posts for Hellas Verona.
Listen, Hellas Verona actually I thought this was going to be like a 3-2 game because they've been playing really well at Hellas Verona. So, the post obviously hurt, but I'm not surprised. Like they've been playing pretty good, Hellas Verona.
Listen, all I know is Sassuolo did it without my man Caputo.
Caputo's Corner.
Yes.
Brought to you by Rite Aid and Ben Gay.
So
it's not, by the way.
It's not.
It's second place, Sassuolo.
Ben Gay, send us a tube full of Ben Gay, and we will make Chris put it on every Caputo's Corner. Live.
What part of the body is he putting it on?
Yeah, we don't even care. They can pick. Doesn't matter.
If you saw this game or saw the highlights, you saw Boga score one of his beautiful goals like he seems to be scoring all the time. It was a really nice goal.
A lot of really nice goals this week.
He had a ton of space, in fairness. Like, can someone close down?
Well, he himself, and it was
he made this.
It was a nice goal, but still, I mean, come on, really?
Berardi, crossed it over to the other side of the box. He had a lot of space, and he curled it far post. It was impossible to save. There was no.
He couldn't save it, but I mean, he took the chance well, but I'm not taking that away from him.
So
he had a lot of space to be involved.
And then Berardi had a goal and an assist. He scored on it. He just ran up the middle of the field. He blasted one over Silvestri. He was a little out of position, I think, but
deflected too, though. Now, right?
Was it deflected? I think it was just
maybe. I didn't see that part. Like I just felt like Silvestri could have been positioned better on that. But Hellas Verona 4-post. That game could have went the other way. But Sassuolo,
I made sure about his having balls.
Exactly.
Listen, I have to apologize to Kitty Kesh. I said he was an awful defender. He's played really well the last.
He did.
Well, good. You made his mom feel better now. Thank you.
Good. Sassuolo, we said they can't play defense. 3 shutouts in a row.
Take that.
Scoring goals and not letting it in. That's a recipe for Champions League.
Wait a minute. You're gonna knock at them for giving up 4 posts, and they could have basically gave up 4 goals. And now you're saying they're playing good defense.
I'm just saying they didn't let up 3 games in a row with 0 goals.
Sometimes luck is on your side.
All right.
Side note: I remember old school Football Manager games and having Concealy on the team, the goalie, like hot prospect, and I'd always buy him every single time. I just love him. He's great.
And he made a really nice save too. They had 4 posts, and he had a really nice save.
He's always been a decent goalie.
They could have had 5 goals easily.
Yeah.
Maybe next week.
Maybe. All right, let's go down. Bologna. I think I saw the highlights of this game. This is like the only game that I really don't know much about. I know Samp had the first goal, Forsby scored, and then there was an own goal, and then I forgot who he scored. He scored 2-1. Samp was on a roll, and Bologna. That's what Bologna does. They're consistently inconsistent, and they win, they lose, they win, they lose. So.
There's a Thornsby appliance shop on my house. Is that the guy? You think he owns it?
Maybe.
I don't have anything to add about this game.
Yeah, I don't either. Udinese, Genoa. DePaul scored a really nice goal. DePaul is the best player on a bad team in the entire league. Like I wish he was on a good team.
He should be on a better team than Udinese.
Yeah,
that's for sure. 100%.
He's got talent. He's good. And also Musso is really good. Inter's been linked with him for years. I think he's going to take over for Andon, which I think they'll eventually buy him.
He's good
for he is a good goalie. Genoa for Scamacca. I don't know if you guys watched it. He scored in the last minute of the game, and he pulled a Morata and had like a toenail offsides, and they took the goal away. But he's a soccer player. Like he knows what he's doing.
He's going to be good. He's going to be good.
Again, he's a Sassuolo product.
What nationality?
Italian.
Thank you. We need forwards.
Yes, Raspadori and him all day. I'm on their bandwagon.
Yeah.
Perrine got a red card literally the last second of the game.
Yeah, that was kind of pointless.
Yeah,
because the game was over anyways.
Yeah. So he won't play next game. And that's pretty much it. That wraps up the week results. Let's go on to, you guys want to do player of the week?
Sure.
All right, I'll let Chris go first since he's on the left over there.
I mean, what's there to say? I already said MVP between Ronaldo and
Nicely produced. He goes to the wrong thing.
Ronaldo and Ibra, the two MVPs right now. Why does he keep switching back and
Now I just think he's messing with you.
I think our producer's just slamming his against the keyboard.
He might be drunk.
Two excellent finishes. As much as our producer Dom hates Ronaldo, Juventus needs him. Why is he's giving me a headache with this screen changes? But yeah, stop.
I'm getting dizzy. Frank, yours?
Spinazzola all the way. I own Spinazzola jersey, underwear, and socks now. Juventus, I still hate you, Paratici, for selling him. That's all I got.
So just to go off yours, I don't think Ronaldo was the MVP of the match for Juventus. I would have put Quadrado there. I was going to pick him, but then you picked Ronaldo, so I didn't want to do that. And I wouldn't have put Spinazzola there. I would have put Mkhitaryan, so I didn't want to pick him. So I went with Ibra because he's hurt, and we're not going to have him up here for a while, and he really is the MVP of the season. 2 goals, 2 great goals. Hopefully he can come back.
Listen, you saw Spinazzola's pass assist on that one goal. That was a nice the way he cut the defense out.
I'm not saying he's bad. It's just you have a boy crush on him.
I'm just saying he probably has a boy crush on me, so it's probably fair.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's pull up the standings because there was a little bit of movement, right?
Oof.
Oof. What makes you say oof?
Yeah. What's the deal with that?
I don't know. I think seeing Juventus in 4th, man.
They moved up, didn't they?
Yeah, great. Still,
it's
8 games in. Atalanta in 7th is also giving me heartburn.
Yeah, they're definitely on not a good run right now. They gotta.
It's
stop
early.
The bleeding right there.
It's so early, but it's not what I expected. I hope Sassuolo continues though throughout the whole season. That'd be awesome.
I'm pulling for them more than anyone. I really am. I love watching, man.
The other side of the table, Torino and Genoa back in the bottom. Just really bad teams. There's some bad teams in the league. You know, you have about 14. I
still think Torino probably has a little bit better team than Udinese and Parma.
So that's the thing when you get to the January transfer market. The big teams don't make tons of moves. It's those bottom teams that are like, oh, I can't get relegated. I got a loan. I got to get some people on loan. I got to buy some people. So you're going to see Torino buy some people. Genoa bought some people last year at the January transfer market. Like they know it's crucial not to get relegated, and you're going to see moves from those teams more than the teams up top.
Yeah.
Yep.
What else we got? Oh, we got Champions League this week coming up, right?
Oof. Champions League.
Yes, the packed schedule. Tomorrow there are 2 games, and Wednesday there are 2 games.
Juventus is playing Frankenhauser again.
Yes, so this is just – oh, my God, stop flipping the screen.
Are you drunk? What are you doing?
This is just an inverse from match day 3. So all the teams that they just played in the Champions League, they play, home and away. I don't know what the games are because this kid is just flipping every screen possible.
Is Tabitha running it? What's going on?
I don't know.
It's good.
So Juventus, they play Veteran Vassos. I don't know how to say it. Whatever.
So they said
Dybala
and Ronaldo are going to be up top tomorrow. I think they said.
Yeah, probable lineups. Dybala, Ronaldo. It's probably going to be Danilo with De Ligt in the middle.
The probable lineups are never right. You know that, right?
You know what I saw on Reddit? I don't know if you guys know about the Romanian kid, Dragusin. I don't even know if I'm saying that properly. 18-year-old defender that they bought. People were saying, "Ooh, maybe he'll play." The 18-year-old inside the lip.
Is he on the roster? Like, is
he was practicing with them.
But he's not on the Champions League roster, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is he on the Champions League?
I don't know if there's rules with age because he's only 18. He might not have to be registered with it. I don't think he's going to. Danilo's going to play, but on Reddit, people were excited about maybe he'll play. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's going to be Danilo and Delit if they're
I think you'll see
available.
Sandro play. I think you'll see Danilo, Delit. You'll see
Quadrado.
Or probably play. And I mean that should be a comfortable game for them. Should be. They are
Nothing's comfortable.
The two good games are. Oh, and also for Juventus' group, just to give you a heads up, Barcelona. They have tons of injuries. Messi's not even playing tomorrow, so maybe it could be an upset for was it Dynamo Kiev? The other team in the
So what? We're hoping for the other teams to have injuries so they could lose now.
No, I'm hoping for Barcelona to drop points. That's what I'm hoping for. I
say beat them on the field and win. We're in this damn spot.
The two good games which suck. They're at the same time Wednesday at 3:00. Liverpool versus Atalanta, Inter versus Real Madrid. Inter, it's a huge game. Atalanta also. I mean, those are two crazy games. I'm probably going to watch the Atalanta game. It's just a more appealing game to me. I don't like watching Inter, so I'll probably watch the Atalanta game.
Yeah, let's hope Atalanta remembers that they can play well and actually and pulls off a big win here.
Well, they'll play better than that first game for sure. They're not losing 5-0.
Oh wow!
Well, it's going to be competitive.
Listen, 5-0 is a disgrace. It is.
Yeah.
The only way they can make up for that is if they win 6-0 this time.
Yes, away too.
That's right. The other team won 5-0 away. There's no fans.
I don't think we have any more slides, so I think that's pretty much it. Oh, we have round 9. Yeah, round 9 predictions. We want to go over it and pick.
Whoa, what's this? Fancy.
So let's go and each of us pick a game and we'll predict.
I'll start.
I wonder where he's going.
3-1 Sassuolo.
3-1 Sassuolo you're picking? Okay.
Screw Inter.
I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
I'm going to go 3-3 draw.
Okay. Frank, pick a game.
Well, can you make it bigger, sir? We don't need to see each other. We know what we look like.
There's some good games this week, man.
There's some really good games this week.
There are good games. Yep.
This is
tough. Genoa Parma. Woo!
Okay, Atalanta, Hellas Verona.
Oh, wow, you went with that one? I wasn't expecting you to get that. Okay, what's your prediction?
I'm going to say 2-2.
2-2. I'm going 3-2 Hellas Verona.
I'm going to say 3-3 tie.
Yeah.
So there you go. That shows you how little faith we have in Atalanta.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different. I mean, I think in the beginning of the season, I picked 6-2 Atalanta every game. Like, that was my score.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show, I mean, if you see how Gasparini's managing these games, they're not going to play everyone in that game. They're just not. So you can't really trust them to have a full team out there or that they're going to play.
And let's give Verona some credit, too. They've been playing within themselves and scoring goals. And
I'm going to pick for my game Napoli versus Rome. And I'm going to pick Rome, and I'm going to say 4-3 Rome.
Osimhen's out, right?
I believe so. I think he's out.
I'm going to say 3-1 Rome.
Daddy in the chat says 2-2 tie. I'm going to say 3-2 Rome.
All right, so we got a 2-2 tie from the chat. We like that. We should add them to the board.
Yeah, good throw out there, producer boy.
All right, yeah, and there are some other decent games, but
it's a good week of games.
Yeah, to have there's 3 solid games they're pretty much must see for me.
Anyone putting a few shekels down on Benevento to beat Juventus?
No.
Where does that pay out?
Benevento with a 2-game win streak? Is that what you're going with?
What does that pay out?
They're probably like plus
330 plus 700. You think?
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably 500 at least.
Anything else,
guys? No.
No, other than there's Twitter, there's YouTube. Subscribe, comments, do whatever, share. Let's get that 20 to a 20
2.
23 by next week?
Anytime those of you that go on Reddit, make sure you answer any question and put our link to our channel.
Yes.
I don't know what Reddit is, but it sounds like that's plausible.
Have a nice Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week, right?
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep. See you guys.
Let's hope these Italian teams run the table in the Champions League this week.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So really quickly, Daddy said Sassuolo 3-1 over Inter. Yeah, my man.
Well, listen, he's like Frankie. He never picks Inter for anything.
Listen, I picked this. Did I pick the same score? What did I say? 2?
I don't know. But
He literally, every time he calls me, he says, bet on this guy to score. Inter's going to lose. Bet on this. You know,
I love him. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy.
Yep. See you later.
Adios.